this time?
Any objection? Admitted.
I'm going to leave 115 up here for you for a moment. How long have you lived, though, in the Jupiter area?
Off and on for 23 years.
Are you pretty familiar with that town?
Yes.
I have a laser pointer, and I'm not sure from your vantage point. Yeah, I'm probably going to ask you to step down with the court's permission.
Of course.
All you do
Just
is
watch your
do
step.
this. I wanted to talk to you and find out. We're going to be zooming in. And it's important, you can step right over here, just make sure you're not in the way of the jury. Lighten this up. Are you familiar with Mohawk Street?
Yes.
All right, this area that we're showing right here, is this the neighborhood that you live in?
Yes.
All right. And you said that you lived on what street? Swan. You're going to have to speak up a little bit for the jury. I know it's hard.
Swanee Avenue, I notice it's not shown on the map. This should be...
And if you could step back so the jurors can see, and I really need you to speak up. But
Swanee
point to
Avenue
us.
should be right here.
All right, you're pointing to a street that doesn't have a name on it, but this is Swanee Avenue?
Correct.
Does it intersect with Mohawk Street?
Yes.
And where's Mohawk?
Right here.
All right. Were you home that night of the Super Bowl in February of 2017?
Yes.
Now tell us, you don't have to give us your address, but if you could point with the laser pointer, how many houses away from Mohawk Street did you live?
Right around in this area.
Okay, and so you're pointing to, it's pretty close to Mohawk Street? Okay. Now, while I have you up here, you have told us that you're from the Jupiter area, been there for a while. I want to talk to you about this neighborhood. What was the exact name of your neighborhood again?
River Estates.
Jupiter River Estates or River Estates? Tell us, if I'm driving down the streets surrounding your neighborhood, how can I get into your neighborhood?
Well, there's three ways. There's from Indian Town Road, and then there's from Tony Penna Drive. But there's also a footbridge that's off of the public pool access right there, which connects to the Passaic by a street light.
All right, so let's start from the first thing. You said, first of all, is your neighborhood gated?
No.
So if I wanted to come in your neighborhood, I could come through Indian Town. Where's Indian Town?
It's
Up here, so I could come down from Indian Town, slide in this way?
correct.
And then you said I could also get into your neighborhood from Tony Penna. Where's Tony Penna?
Which is right here.
All right, so
Right in here.
I would just slide in from Tony Penna?
Correct.
Okay. What's the other way you told us about?
There's a footbridge. You can't see it. Should be right here on the corner here, underneath the trees.
Okay, if you could speak up just a little bit more. Go ahead.
So there's a footbridge right here on the corner. You can't see it. It's under trees here. That runs to a little access road.
And what's a footbridge? What do you mean by that?
Just a walking bridge, bikes, jogging, just to get your way. Okay. Now there is a
It comes through here?
There's a little access road right here which connects it to Tony Penna Drive where the light is to the facility.
All right, so let me ask you, if I'm in a car, and let's say I'm already in your neighborhood, can I drive my car over that footbridge?
No.
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 So is the third way you're telling us about how to get into your neighborhood, is it by foot or bicycle?
Correct.
Okay. So a footbridge, and then you said there's an access road. What do you mean by that? What's that?
The access road that you use for FPL.
Florida Power and Light uses that road? Okay.
It's also used as a jogging trail.
So if you take the footbridge, does the footbridge hook up with that access trail?
Eventually, not directly, but yes, it does.
So if I'm on the footbridge trail and I'm walking out of your neighborhood and I keep walking, am I going to hook up with that access road eventually?
If you go where it's located, yes.
Now, how do I then get into Passaios?
Well, like I said here, you can go down Pennock here, which connects to Passaic directly, or you can come down this way to the access road.
Okay, so let's say I'm in your neighborhood and I'm on foot, and I'm at the corner of your neighborhood, and I'm on that footbridge. Take me through the trails or the route that I can get into all the way down here into Paseos.
If I'm on foot, the best way would be through the access road.
Will take me from here down.
From here,
Yeah. Footbridge to access road,
Tony Penna to access road.
okay? And,
Which from here to this point, you can walk that in a matter of 2-3 minutes.
okay, it only takes about 2-3 minutes to get from the end of your neck to the beginning of the footbridge down to where?
To the access road.
Okay. And then let's say I'm going all the way down near Villa Zamora area, down here. Is this Paseos up here too?
This is Paseos. This is all Paseos.
And is that one neighborhood?
Yeah.
Is Paseos, if you know, is it gated?
No, it's not.
It's not gated. So from all the way up top here, can I get into Paseos?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back then to what you saw that night. Do you remember that night, the Super Bowl night?
It's been a while, but I did bits and pieces.
Okay. Tell us, where were you, what you were doing at the end of the Super Bowl?
I was in the room watching television.
In your house?
Yes.
Okay.
When I heard what I thought to be gunshots, father-in-law said, "Oh, somebody's celebrating. It sounded like fireworks." I said, "That's inconsistent. I don't hunt it." So when I heard gunshots, I knew specifically those were gunshots.
Okay.
That's when I proceeded to walk down the street to see what all the commotion was.
Were you armed at that point?
Yes.
All right, so do you remember how many gunshots you heard?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you said you were in your house. Did you grab your firearm?
Yes.
And tell us what you did and where you walked to.
Put it in my pocket and walked to the corner of Swanee and Mohawk.
All right. And tell us, when you walked to the corner of Swanee and Mohawk, had cops already been there?
Not at the time, no.
So you were there before the cops, right? Tell us what you saw.
At that moment, I saw a gentleman come from the backside, jumped over a fence here, and run across several homes here and duck in cover.
What do you mean duck in cover?
Kind of get behind a house here that was trying to get out of the way. And at that point, I proceeded to walk to make sure my family was still in the house.
Okay.
By the time I turned around, the police got there.
All right. So
Very
tell us,
quick.
I'm sorry. Did you eventually find out where the shots were coming from, the
Yes.
house? You found out what happened. That house, 1105 Mohawk, is that the house you saw somebody jumping over the fence?
Yes,
Or jumping, or running?
correct.
Okay. Can you describe if you got close enough, the emotional state of the person? Do you know?
Don't recall his face per se, but I do remember that he was holding his side and running, well, trying to run. It seemed like he was in pain. Don't know, at that time I wasn't realizing he was shot. I thought maybe he hurt himself jumping over the fence or something of that sort.
Well, you don't know eventually, though, if that person was shot. do you?
Well, I don't know still, but
Okay. And so you said he was running towards these houses. Did you see him go to any of the houses?
he went to one of these houses and just kind of stuck behind the side of the house there.
Okay.
After that, that's when I turned to make sure my family was still in the house. By the time I turned around, the police got there.
Okay. And did you ever make contact with that person?
No.
And when the cops got there, did you stop and talk to the police?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead and have a seat. And when you spoke to the police that night, did they sit down and did you give a statement to them?
Yes.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you? I might need to have you step back down. Did you see any cars that night?
Well, there
What
was,
did you see?
yes, that, I gave the description to the police.
Okay, again, and I'm so sorry. If you can do it from here, great. If not, step down again. Tell us what kind of car you saw, where you saw it leaving from, things like that.
It was a blue Honda. It backed out of the driveway and fled down Mohawk going east,
Okay.
which told me that the people that were in that vehicle weren't from the area because you can't exit that way.
Okay, let me slow you down a bit. You said Honda backed out of the driveway. What driveway did it back out of?
Out of the house that the incident took place.
Okay. Now, did the Honda back out of the driveway before or after you saw the guy running near the fence and running away?
Right after.
So was the guy in the Honda or not?
No.
No, all right. So what do you mean by it told you that the people or whoever was driving that Honda did not know the neighborhood?
Because they were fleeing east on Mohawk, which
Uh-huh.
you can't exit that way unless you came all the way around.
All right. And we know the footbridge, but you can't drive on the footbridge, can you?
Correct.
So in the back of this neighborhood, the easternmost area of your neighborhood, is there any way out of there to hit one of the main highways and go?
Not by car.
Not by car. Go ahead then and tell us what you saw.
So once I saw them back out and, well, all ass down this way,
Okay.
I lost sight of them until they came around this way and got to right here.
All right, so when you say now, are they coming which direction?
They're going west.
On Mohican? And where are you? You're still kind of standing in the road?
Still kind of standing in the road, so I had visual here and here.
All right, and so what do you see? Tell us, you see the car heading west now.
They just fly past like Moroso.
Okay.
After that, I didn't see it. So
All right. So they went out, you saw them go around and then come out this way, right? Okay. And did you tell the police that?
yes.
All right, go ahead and you can have a seat now. Thanks, sir. You spoke to the police that night, right?
Yes,
Did you speak to them again a day or so later?
I believe so.
And I'm going to show you what we've marked as State's Exhibit 115. Did they show you a photograph of a car and ask you if you recognize the car?
Yes,
And is this the photograph the police officer showed you?
I initialed it.
Yep, that's your
Yep,
initials
yep,
on there?
Yep,
And is this the car that you saw that night leaving 1105 Mohawk and speeding through your neighborhood?
I believe so.
State enters 115 in evidence at this time? Okay.
Admitted.
When you said, did the cops ask you to put your initials down there?
Yes,
All right, so BX is yours, 2717?
yes,
I can have one moment, please.
yes.
Did you see the car, were you ever able to see who was in that car?
No.
Too far away, too dark?
At that point, I didn't see anybody get into the vehicle. I heard yelling and screaming, but I didn't see anybody.
Tell us when it was that you heard yelling and screaming.
Well, all I heard really was, we need to, get in the effing car now. The police are on their way.
All right, well, let me back you up. You told us you saw the car backing out of 1105 Mohawk, right?
Correct.
When was it that you heard voices and screaming? And
When my back was turned, heading back to my home.
before or after the car backed out?
Before.
And tell us exactly, and you can use profanity, it's okay, we need to hear exactly what you heard.
Okay? So as I turned my back to walk back to my home, that's when I heard the yelling and screaming. So I proceeded to turn around, and at that point, they were already in the vehicle. So I didn't get to see who or how many people got in the vehicle. And that's when I saw them back out of the vehicle and hightail it down the road.
Prior to them getting in the vehicle, what were they saying?
We need to get in the fucking car now. We need to leave. The police are on their way.
Was it just one voice you heard or two voices?
There was at least two.
saw running then, did it appear to you that person was hiding,
Yes.
trying to hide?
Or trying to get away, yes.
Okay, all right. I don't believe I have any further questions. Thank you, sir.
Cross-examination.
Mr. Sieff, the neighborhood that you live in, would you describe it as a residential neighborhood?
Yes.
Mostly families living there?
Yes.
Relatively quiet?
Very close-knit, yes.
Okay. And so when this happened on Sunday night during Super Bowl, it would be quite startling to those around you.
Yes.
And the individual that lived at 1105 Mohawk, did you know that individual?
No.
Had you noticed that he had been living there for a period of time?
Yes.
And what was it about the activities at the house that drew your attention?
A lot of traffic in and out of the house, all different hours of the day, night. He was friendly, he would wave, but I didn't know him personally.
Okay. And the blue vehicle that you have identified, is that a vehicle that was regularly parked at that residence?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any redirect?
Yeah, no questions.
Sir, you are excused. Watch your step. And thank you for your patience. We're going to recall CSI.
You know, I think we have one more civilian we're going to put in.
No problem. Who is it?
Jason Armentano.
Say that last name again for me. Can you bring me Jason? So jurors, once again, we're putting CSI McClendon on hold, and the state's calling another witness out of order to keep things moving. I appreciate your patience on that. Is that Jason there?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Come on up. Watch your step. We have wires and cords and plugs all in the way. So when you meet the deputy over here, if you face Mr. Clerk, who's around the screen, and raise your right hand for me. All right, you're going to have a seat right up there. Watch your step. And once you get yourself comfortable, that microphone, the base of it moves, the neck of it moves. Get it close to your mouth and speak directly into the center of it. Tell us your full name and then slowly spell it for us, please.
Jason Armentano, JASONARMENTANO.
Terrific. State, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Mr. Armentano, what do you do for a living?
I'm a carpenter,
What city do you live in?
Jupiter.
And is there a particular neighborhood or what's the name of the street you live on, I'll say?
Mohawk,
What's your address?
1103.
How long have you been living at 1103 Mohawk Street?
I think about 6 years now.
And I want to show you a picture I'm going to put up and publish what's been admitted already, State's Exhibit Number 2. May I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm going to give you this to use just to identify the whole thing. And let me know if you have issues seeing the screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So you said you live at 1103 Mohawk Street, and from the image we have up, you are next door neighbors to 1105 Mohawk. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Prior to February 5th, 2017, was this a house that renters commonly lived in?
Yes.
Okay. And leading up to February 5th, 2017, Super Bowl Sunday, had you formally met the person that was renting 1105 Mohawk?
No, we've only waved when we met each other in a parking lot or the driveway, walked in the house, but I never really,
Had a conversation with him?
not at all.
Was it kind of you would just see him in passing? And kind of
Yeah, just
acknowledge
if
them?
we end up pulling up at the same time or something like that, but there've been so many renters there, I didn't really take time to make friends with them.
Did you know that it was a guy that was living there?
Yeah, I knew that he was, yeah.
Were there ever any loud parties happening?
Nope.
Okay. Was there a lot of car traffic that you would see there?
A little more than usual.
I want to talk to you specifically about Super Bowl Sunday, February 2017. Do you recall some events taking place that evening?
Yep.
Did you watch Super Bowl, the game?
Yes.
Did you have a get-together at your house, or were you there alone?
No, just me, my wife, and my son.
Shortly after the game ended, was there anything that caught your attention?
Not really.
Did you hear any gunshots at all?
Well, besides the gunshots, yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about that. So tell me what happened as the game goes off.
The game ended. We hadn't turned the TV off yet. There's some commercials playing, and all of a sudden I heard, well, at first I thought it might have been fireworks, but definitely sounded like gunshots.
Have you ever fired a gun before?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the sound of gunshots?
Yes.
Are you able to tell us how it sounded, as far as, was it a single shot and a pause,
It
or was
sounded like a bunch of shots all together.
How many shots do you think you heard?
8 to 10, all at once.
Did the sound of the gunshot sound like it was close to you or off in the distance?
It sounded like it was pointed at me. It was real loud.
What did you do once you heard the gunshots?
I ran out to the back door because that's where I heard the shots coming from. And by the time I got to the back door, my neighbor ran in the front door.
Your front door was unlocked.
Yeah.
And
yes.
when you say your neighbor, you're referring to your neighbor from on which side?
I don't know what side.
1105.
Depending on where you're looking at. Yeah, 1105.
Okay. And was your wife still sitting, I guess, in the
She was in
common
front of the TV on the couch.
So what happened? Had you made it out of the back door when your front door opened?
I just opened the door, and by the time I stuck my head out, he came in the front door.
So what do you do once your front door opens and your neighbor comes in?
I was asked him what's going on.
You go back to your front door?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and just what are you doing here? And he was trying to explain that his friends got hurt.
Now, let me just stop you for just a second. How much time would you say passed from the time you heard 8 to 10 gunshots to your front door opening and your neighbor coming in?
Seconds. The time, as soon as the gunshots went off, I got up off the couch and walked to the back door, so it's only 20 feet away. So seconds.
How would you describe your neighbor from 1105? How would you describe his demeanor, his behavior or appearance?
Like he saw a ghost. He couldn't talk. He wasn't really looking at either one of us. He just couldn't, he was trying to hide.
When you say he couldn't talk, what do you mean?
He just so scared he couldn't put any words together to really explain to what happened. Besides that, my friends were hurt.
Was he stuttering?
Yeah.
And you said he was looking around, or?
Just not really focused on anything, just kept on looking back to the front door like someone was about to come in behind him.
At this point, do you know what has happened?
No.
Okay. Do you know whether whoever might have fired the guns are still on the property or coming after your neighbor?
No, I didn't.
So after you try to get some information from him and he tells you something about his friends or a friend being hurt?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you try to inquire whether anyone was shot?
Yeah.
Was he able to give you an answer?
Not really clearly. He said that they were hurt. Well, yeah, I think he did kind of say something about someone shot my friend, that someone was hurt, but not really exactly what happened.
Did there come a point that you or your wife called 911?
Yeah.
So he's in your house. How is it that he leaves your house?
When I figured out exactly what was going on, there's bushes that run along the front side of my house, and I told him to run and hide, and I closed the door and locked it, and me and my wife ran to the bedroom.
When he goes out of your house, do you remember if he runs east or west?
He runs east.
Okay. And you go to the bedroom with your wife.
Yeah.
Do you come back out of the bedroom?
After I made sure she was safe, I started slowly walking back to the front door.
Do you hear anything that's happening outside that gets
Nothing.
your attention?
Nothing at all, just silence.
Okay.
And then as I'm getting closer to the front door, I heard a car. You could definitely hear back out of the driveway and speed off.
What was it that you heard from the car that let you know this car was
Oh, it
trying to
peeled
get out
out.
of the neighborhood?
It peeled out.
Okay. Did it slam on the gas?
Yeah.
Did you hear tires squeal?
Squealing tires. And you could hear them. You could hear the car take off.
Which way did it go out of the neighborhood?
It went into the neighborhood.
Went into the neighborhood?
Yeah.
And are you able to, this is going to sound crazy, are you able to exit going into the neighborhood?
It'd take you a lot longer, but yeah, it does loop all the way around, but it's definitely the opposite direction of the entrance.
So for a car that was peeling out as you described it, would have gone the opposite direction if it was trying to get out of there?
Yeah.
Okay. After you hear this car take off, do you ever go out back again?
After that, I went out back because he had told me that his friends were hurt, and as I'm putting everything together, I was thinking that might have been the bad guy leaving, and I had a feeling they were all hanging out in the backyard because there was a bonfire, so I went back there and I didn't hear anything or see anybody.
Okay. So you want to talk about the backyard, and you mentioned a bonfire. Had you gone out a little before the shots fired and noticed that there was kind of some smoke,
Yeah.
resemblance of a bonfire out back at 11:05?
Yeah. It had been going on while the game was playing.
Okay, now, the way the houses are situated, are you able to, if you have a window open or you're outside, are you able to hear if there is loud talking, laughter, or arguing going on next door at 11:05?
Yeah.
Leading up to hearing the 8 to 10 gunshots, did you hear anything that was indicative of a party or some type of arguing or fighting?
No, they were quiet.
So would you say that it was pretty much silent and then there was rapid gunfire?
Yes.
Okay. Once you go out back, and I can't remember if you answered this, were you able to see anything across the fence at 11:05?
No, I walked out back and I walked up to the fence, but I didn't look over. I just kind of looked high enough that I could see their back door and everything, but I couldn't see anything else. I didn't hear anything. So I walked back out to the front after that.
What happens when you go back out of your front door, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you go back out front?
I see my neighbor running back down the opposite direction. I think he was running towards some cops that were coming in the neighborhood.
When you went out your front door, did you see a patrol car coming?
Yes.
Okay, and is that direction the direction that your neighbor was running towards?
Yes.
Were there any other law enforcement officers you saw in the neighborhood while you were at your front door outside of your house?
Shortly after that, I saw officers coming from the opposite direction also.
Did the officers ever approach you?
Not really. I told them what side of the house the gate was open on, and I told them that the kid had said that his friends were hurt. I told the officers I didn't know where they were, but the gate's open on that side, and they told me to go inside.
Did you
wait
do
for
that?
them? Yeah.
Okay. And did there come a later time that you spoke with law enforcement and told them what you had observed that evening?
Yeah.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor? No further questions.
Ross.
Super Bowl 51, that was the Patriots and the Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Went into overtime. Remember that?
Did it? No, I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
I'm not a huge football fan.
But you were watching that night,
Yeah.
and it usually backs up to the 10 o'clock news, right?
I
Okay.
can't remember that part.
You were still watching the game at the time that the shots rang out.
I think the game was over. I'm pretty sure. We were still sitting on the couch in front of the TV.
With the post-game commercials playing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but before that, when you were sitting on the couch, you're watching the TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a newborn child at that time.
Yes.
Right? Who was with you, was awake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, I mean, realistically, you're not really paying attention to what's going on next door until you hear the shots.
Yeah, but if there's any talking or anything, you can see how close our houses are. You can hear what's going on next door. If there's people outside, you hear them. Even if you're just talking,
Normal conversation.
just normal conversation, you'll hear
You
them.
can hear 'em
Yeah.
if there isn't a TV on or a baby crying,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And so you didn't know your next door neighbor?
No.
You didn't know his name?
No.
Never had a conversation with him,
Just a wave.
right?
If I
And
saw him
as
in the
you
driveway.
right, and as you mentioned, it's more than usual traffic coming and going from that house.
Well, they're younger, so I'm sure he always had friends over. I mean, nothing that I was worried about or anything like that. I think normal traffic for a 20-something-year-old, kid.
That doesn't work,
I wouldn't even know that if he didn't work.
okay? Because you just didn't know him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And on this particular night, you recognized him when he came to the door?
Yes,
It's your next door neighbor,
yes.
okay? And when he comes in looking for assistance, your reaction is to push him out the door and lock it.
Yeah. Not immediately, but
Any redirect? You may. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your patience. Watch your step coming out of there. Follow the deputy. And you're excused, sir. Oh, hey, thank you for not walking off with our laser pointer. Thank you, sir. And are we ready for CSI McClendon? Okay, CSI McClendon, please. And CSI McClendon, you're still under oath. Watch your step. You know the rest of the drill. The key is to talk directly into that microphone for me.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Let's pick up where we left off yesterday. And let me back up just a little bit. We talked about some of your work in the backyard at 1105 Mohawk, correct?
Yes,
And then I said we're going to talk about your processing of a BMW that was towed into your impound lot, correct?
yes,
As well as a Honda that was towed into your impound lot, right?
yes.
Okay. So let's, we started with the BMW. And let me just kind of start over from there. And we're talking about February 7th, 2017. And you told us who was there with you, Detective Hirsch, Detective Sanders, yourself, and CSI Bryant, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let me show you a series of photographs. I'm showing the defense. They're going to be marked, or they are marked, for state's identification as State's Exhibit 116 through 144. And just briefly flip through those. You've seen those, correct?
Yes,
Are those your actual photographs?
yes,
Okay, just flip through there and let me know if those fairly and accurately depict some of the scenes from the BMW. Mr. Alien accurately depict some of the items from the BMW?
Yes.
The state moves State's Exhibit 116 through 144 into evidence with permission to publish at this time.
116 through 144, any objection?
You remove the one total year.
Yes, let's double check.
Okay, admitted.
Now, for purposes of executing a search warrant on an object such as an automobile, what roles does the lead detective have, as well as what you have? In other words, who's doing the actual searching? You or Detective Hirsch and Detective Sanders?
The detectives.
And what are you doing when they are searching through the automobiles?
I'm taking photographs.
Is it a methodical process?
Yes.
And when I say methodical, tell us a little bit about if Hirsch is going through the back seat, is she kind of pausing and stepping aside and letting you take photos?
That's what they're supposed to do, yes.
Okay. Let's, I think you have the, here's the laser pointer. And again, if you need to step down, you can see that well. But for now, I don't need you to step down. Let's just kind of go through some of these photographs pretty quickly. State's Exhibit 116. Is this the BMW that was found in the Paseos neighborhood that you had a search warrant to search?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 117, what's this?
That is the right side of the vehicle?
And is this at the impound line in Jupiter?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 118. What's that?
That's the driver's side of the vehicle?
State's Exhibit 119. Just a different angle.
It's a different angle of the right side of the vehicle.
Okay. And as part of your Jupiter Police Department search, do you search every area of a car, like the glove box, the trunk? Did you have permission to do that from the court's pursuant to search warrant?
Yes.
120, what's that?
That's a photograph of the glove box.
State's 121, tell us what that is.
That was the registration in the glove box.
All right, it's registered to a guy named David Lawrence Tipper.
Yes.
Did you find items, though, in that BMW that had other people's names on it?
Yes.
One, two, two. Tell us, now take us start walking us through the search of the car.
We start on the driver's side, which is here, and looking into the passenger side of the front seat.
And is this photograph, how it was is when y'all opened the doors?
Yes.
Are any of the items moved around in this photo, or is this what it looked like when you first saw it?
That's what it looked like when I first saw it.
Okay. Taking you to an area, I believe, near the center council, okay? Did you find a business card of someone?
Yes.
Where'd you find that business card?
That was inside the center console area.
Okay, with Kasukas?
Yes.
23.
Yes, ma'am, sorry. No, I was mentioning what you did. And when you say the center council going back to 122, where in the center council did you find that?
It was inside of there.
And when you say inside of there,
The compartment of the center console.
The business card was?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 124. Tell us, what's this?
That's the driver's side door.
And, it looks like there's a water bottle. And what else?
A shirt.
One, two, five. What's there?
That's
What's
a,
that photograph of?
it's a photograph of the front right seat and door.
Looks like there's a phone charging.
Yes.
One, two, six. What's this?
That's a photograph of the front right seat.
Front right passenger seat thing, correct?
Yes.
And what is this item here with the blue handle?
Some type of saw.
One, two, seven. What's this?
That's a photograph of the right front door.
Okay, so the passenger, probably passenger seat, front seat, right?
Yes.
Is this the same phone we saw before?
Yes.
And there's other items kind of in there as well?
Yes.
That's 127. Let's look at 128. What is this photograph? What is it? Where did you find it?
It's a sock that was found in the front passenger door pocket, and it's a sock.
So 127 we saw. Is this where it was found, that sock?
Yes.
Was it found near this phone?
Yes.
And is that a picture of the sock before you went inside it to see if there was anything in there?
Yes.
Did you all go in and look into that sock?
Yes.
What did you find?
There were bullets in the sock.
129. Is that a photo inside the sock?
Yes.
Did you collect those?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 130. Let's talk about the back seat. Did you all go into the back seat?
Yes.
And tell us what was in this picture. What is this green item?
That's a rifle bag.
And right here, this item here, the color's off with the elbow, but is that a backpack?
Yes.
As well as, what is this item right here?
It's a packaging for a t-shirt.
And then water bottle.
Yes.
States 131. Is this a different angle of those items that you told us about?
Yes.
States 132. What is down here in the phone, in the car, back seat? Yeah. Let me,
It looks like a charger.
okay. Like cord on it?
Yes.
Did you all open up that rifle case?
Yes.
Was there anything in it?
don't think so.
So in other words, when I say a rifle case, do you mean a gun case?
Yes.
Was there a gun in there when you opened it up?
No.
States 135. You mentioned a bag, a T-shirt bag that was in the back seat. Is that right?
A packaging.
Packaging. Is that what you saw in the back seat?
Yes.
Was it open?
Yes.
Was there a T-shirt inside it?
No.
Did you take the gun case out of the car to further photograph it?
Yes.
Then is this it?
Yes.
Y'all leaving on the back of the BMW?
Yes.
And again, did you take it back to the Jupiter Police Department to process it?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 137, the one I just showed with it on the back of the BMW was 136. So is this just another photograph of it at the Jupiter Police Department?
Yes.
How about the sock that had the ammunition in it? Did you also take that back to the Jupiter Police Department to photograph?
Yes.
One, showing you 138. Was this photograph taken at the Jupiter Police Department?
Yes.
It was tied, right?
Yes.
When y'all found it, was it tied or was it open?
I don't remember when we took it out of the door, but I think one of the detectives tied it so the stuff didn't spill out of it.
Okay, and when you say the stuff, what do you mean?
The bullets.
So when we saw the photograph in the car, it wasn't tied, it just looked, you know, like a sock laid out and then there were things inside it, ammunition inside it, right?
I don't remember if it was tied while in the door,
Okay.
but in the photograph it was open.
Is this the same sock that you found in the car?
Yes.
And did you open it again or go inside that sock again when you were at Jupiter and pull out the ammunition?
Yes.
States 140. Is this it?
Yes.
Tell us what you found. What is this on the left-hand side of that sock?
They're bullets.
How many?
6.
Stage 141, is this a close-up of those same bullets or live ammunition that you found in the sock in the BMW at Paseos?
Yes.
On that live ammunition, did you take a photograph, and we will see it eventually, but did you take a photograph of the head stamp on the ammunition?
Yes.
Stage 142. What is this photo?
It's a photograph of the head stamp.
And when I say head stamp, what is that?
It's the markings on the bottom side of the bullet.
All right, and showing you 141. Where would the head stamp be?
Down here at the bottom.
And the head stamp on this one, does it have numbers and calibers?
Yes.
You forwarded all that to the PDSO firearm file, correct?
Correct.
And you said that you found a backpack, is that correct?
Correct.
144. Is that the backpack you don't have?
Yes.
One moment. I'm going to show you some items parking. It's 145, 146, 147. That's 145. Look at these items and let me know if these are items that you found within that BMW. Did you find those items in the BMW?
Yes,
And are these what you packaged up?
yes,
I don't need them yet. Sorry. State moves 145, 146, and 147 into evidence.
Any objection? Admit it.
146, you showed a photograph of a business card. Is this 146 that actual business card?
yes,
And State's Exhibit 147, that sock that the ammunition was found in?
yes.
And then let's talk about State's Exhibit 145. I'm going to open the bag. Where did you find State's Exhibit 145?
Those were in the driver's door pocket.
Okay, so I'll pull a photo of the driver's door pocket. Sometimes you use gloves with evidence, right?
Yes,
You all probably do it all the time, right?
yes.
Just for an abundance of caution, I'll do that here. When you say the driver's door pocket, what do you mean?
The pocket on the driver's door.
Okay. So, sorry about that. If I'm driving, I just want to be clear. It's the pocket down to my left?
Correct.
All right. What's this? Did you find that in that BMW in the driver's door pocket?
Yes,
What is it?
a driver's license.
Okay.
Christopher Vasata.
You also find this. What is this?
It looks like a bank debit card.
Okay. In whose name? Whose
Chris-
name?
Christopher Vasata.
And did you also find something from Southwest? Did you find this in that same driver's door
yes.
area? What is it?
An airline ticket?
Or, it's from Southwest, correct?
Correct.
Maybe a baggage claim number, baggage claim evidence, whose name's on that?
Christopher Vasata.
If you ever need to step down and look, you can. You can't see, but thank you. You have all these items, the Southwest Airline baggage claim ticket, the driver's license of Chris Vasata, the Bank of America MasterCard of Chris Vasata. Then there's like a Verizon card, prepaid Verizon card.
Yes.
There's no name on there, is there?
Not that I'm aware of.
You packaged all of these together. Did you find them all together?
I found them in the door. I don't recall if they were like all together.
But they were in that driver's door close to each other, correct?
Yes.
let's look at some of the other things that you found. And that last exhibit, I'm sorry, sir, was number. Let's talk about some other things you found in that BMW. Take a look at State's Exhibit 148 and 149. Are you familiar with those items?
Yes.
And did you find those in the BMW?
Yes.
And are these the actual items that you found?
Yes.
Statements 148 and 149 in evidence at this time.
Any objection? Admitted.
And
I think we put a whole box over here. Sure, no problem at all.
let's look at State's Exhibit 148. What's in State's Exhibit 148?
A magazine clip, a box of Perfecta 357 Magnum bullets, and a clear plastic Ziploc type bag containing bullets
Where did you find these items?
in the backpack.
The backpack was where? In the back seat?
Yes.
What is this object that I'm holding in my hand?
A magazine clip.
You sent all this to the firearms people at PDSF?
Yes.
And what is this that I'm holding in my hand?
A bag containing bullets.
How many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, that's what you counted.
Do you know where you found those?
In the backpack.
Were they in the magazine or were they just separate?
They were separate.
Are those different than the ones that were in the stock?
Yes.
And what about this?
a box of Perfecta bullets.
Okay, when you say Perfecta, is that the name brand of a type of bullet?
Yes.
Is what you found inside?
I didn't open the box.
Okay. Why don't you do me there? Can you open that 149? Stacy, to the 149. Where did you find these seats 149? Remember?
In the backpack?
As well?
Yes.
And what's this?
A bag of bullets.
More bullets?
Yes.
What kind were they?
I don't know. Perfecta 357 Magnum.
And what else?
A box of Perfecta 40 caliber Smith & Wesson.
Did you open this?
No.
You just forwarded it to PSF?
Yes.
And I showed you earlier, and I said, well, let's look at what kind it is. Was that the head stamp you were looking at?
Yes.
Does this have a head stamp as well?
Yes.
Does the head stamp tell you the manufacturer of the ammunition as well as the caliber?
Yes.
So Perfecta 40 Smith Wesson, right?
Yes.
There were 2 live rounds in this box, is that correct?
I don't know. I never opened the box. Yeah.
Well, there's 2 now. Okay. You didn't take any and you didn't add any, is that correct?
Correct.
Sorry, I forgot. Oh, where'd you cut it?
I cut it at the top here. Right there.
You did gloves out of this, you know. Did you find a T-shirt in that BMW as well?
Yes.
And I'll mark this as 150. Gray Adidas T-shirt. backpack. Showing you 150 and 151. Is this a gray Adidas t-shirt you found in the BMW?
Yes,
Where'd you find that at?
it was in the bottom pocket of the driver's door.
And 151, what is Stacy's exhibit 151? So the backpack we were talking about, we found in the back seat,
Yes,
and we have photographs of that, correct?
yes.
Statements 150, 151, and evidence.
Any objection? No objection. Admitted.
Let's talk about that gun case you found, or rifle case, 152. Is this it?
Yes,
Was this in the back seat next to the backpack?
yes.
Can you go ahead and open that? Thank you. Where's your published, actually state would admit 152 in evidence this time with permission of public.
Any objection? Admitted.
Did there come a time when you were shown a assault rifle?
Yes,
Did you try to fit the assault rifle in this gun bag?
I did.
Did it fit?
Yes,
And when I say did it fit, in other words, was the assault rifle too big to fit in there?
no,
Was it too small to fit in there?
no. You want me to take it out too? You want me to take it out too?
Is this what you all found?
Yes,
And you said when you opened it, there was no assault rifle in there, is that correct?
correct.
This is, in your training experience, have you seen items that are used to carry firearms?
Yes,
Is this one such item?
yes.
Did you measure it?
I put a scale next to it when I photographed it.
The photo with the scale on it.
Yes.
Let us take that. Just pass it right over. You guys handle that for me, please. You're welcome.
Now, showing you what I'm sorry, so mark is 153. Those bullets that you found in the sock, did you collect those as well?
Yes,
And take a look at 153, is that them?
yes.
Statements 153 into evidence at this time?
Any objection? Admitted.
If you need to open it, you can, but what kind of ammunition was found in there again? You know?
I need to open it.
Pair of gloves.
It's so hard to see.
Hard for you to see the head stamp, it's pretty small.
Yes,
You send this to PBS Crime Lab?
yes,
Okay, and they analyzed it, they looked at it.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. You said there were, how many bullets in the sock? 6?
Yes.
Now, did you take some swabs from DNA swabs from the BMW items?
Yes.
And let's start talking about some of those. You also took some from the Honda as well, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let me separate those out. Refresher, you're swabbing something for DNA, is that what you're using the little Q-tip for?
Yes.
And do you preserve those Q-tips, those DNA Q-tips, preserve them and then forward them to the county sheriff's office lab if needed?
Yes.
And states 154, 155, 156, and 157, are those some of the swabbings you took from items within the car, within the BMW, as well as the BMW itself?
Yes.
And those are your notations with the case number on it?
Yes.
St. Luke's 154 through
157.
57.
Any objection? 154, 155, 156, and 157. Admitted.
Now, states 154, you found a water bottle in there. Did you swab the water bottles?
Yes.
Or water bottle? 155, did you swab that rifle case?
Yes.
We saw the rifle case, and let me use a photo, that would be easier. Tell us where you swabbed that rifle case. Do you know where on the rifle case you swabbed it?
The handles, the zipper, and the whole body.
Let's use, as an example or illustration, 135, photograph of the rifle case. Can you use with the laser pointer here, kind of show us what you mean by handles, zippers, and body?
The handles,
Okay.
the zipper, and the body.
And when you say swab, just kind of illustrate to us how you did it. What did you do?
Holding both of the swabs together, I rubbed each area separately.
Okay, so when you say separately, did you use swabs for the handle separately?
Yes,
Swabs for the zipper area separately?
yes,
And then swabs for some of the body separately?
yes,
Okay. And then you preserve those pursuant to chain of custody and seal them up?
yes.
How about, 156, swabs from the BMW. Tell us about swabbing that actual car.
I swabbed all of the interior door handles and the steering wheel.
Okay, interior door handles. You mean handles inside the BMW
Yes,
as well as the steering wheel?
yes,
Okay. Same thing, way you did it, you then preserved them and kept them and forwarded to PDSO?
correct.
6154, we talked about the water bottle, but is there also swabbings in there from the backpack?
Yes,
And how'd you swab that backpack?
I swabbed the top handle and the shoulder straps.
Okay, I'll look at the backpack in a moment. There's also in 157, are there swabs from the backpack in there as well?
Yes,
States 144.
this, if I could just say, this one,
Would you say this one? No,
yeah, I'm going to. 157,
yes.
this is a repackage from here.
What does that mean?
When we send DNA to the lab, if there's multiple items in one envelope, we have to take the one that we want to send out of one package and put it in another package.
Okay, so sometimes when you're swabbing items, are you sending every swabbing to the Sheriff's Office Crime Lab?
No,
And let me ask you, as a crime scene investigator, when you go to the scene of a crime, and/or when you're given items to search in the process, is it best to take as much as you can, as opposed to as little as you can?
yes,
And if you take as much as you can, as the case proceeds and progresses, do you kind of narrow in and decide which evidence should be sent for processing?
yes.
Now, the handle or the backpack, show us where you swab.
Up here on that handle, and then on the back side, the shoulder straps.
Okay, like when you put on the backpack, the shoulder straps, right?
Right,
And is it your purpose to try to swab areas that, common sense-wise, you would think someone would be touching an item on?
yes,
Like the top handle or near the neck area?
yes.
Okay. Let's go into I might jump back to the BMW if I realize I missed something, but let's move now to the Honda.
Sure. Quick morning break. Does anybody need to go outside of the jury room? I don't see any, nobody. Great. Then Let's make it about 8 to 10 minutes. Go back there, make yourself some coffee. You should have enough supplies. Let me know if you don't. I'll get you some more. Everybody, we'll take 8 to 10 minutes. I'll see you back here. Turn your pads upside down in your chairs. Do not talk about the case in any way, shape, or form. Watch your step coming out of that jury box.
Handsome, you still look handsome. Since I'm only 22, I believed you. It's fun to come here.
Perfect.
Good morning, sir. Is there anything I should know about anything at all? For her? Yeah. For that? I didn't see her. Wonderful.